Hey there, and welcome to Constructing Comics, a podcast building stories one page and one panel at a time. Today we're doing a year in review and just talking about the favorite comics, but also other media that we consumed over over 2025. I think I don't have anything that's like new to talk about. You have some new comics that you wanted to bring up. So do you want to start with one of your honorable mentions, since that was actually something that came out in 2025?
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but
no, you're good. I didn't think we would start with the honorable mentions.
I think we should, though, and especially since yours, actually came out in 2025. I don't have anything that did.
Yeah, so one of my honorable mentions for the year is The Confessional by Paige Hender. It's this really cool, like, vampire story. Ooh, spooky. I pulled it right up to a good page. It's this really cool vampire story. It's about religious trauma, but also vampirism and, like, kind of loving yourself when you feel like you're a monster sort of vibes, but then also murder and killing people and being a vampire. It's really cool, and it's all in this blue and pink and red color scheme, so all of the visuals are really striking. And I am just obsessed with too many lines on a page. Not that this has too many lines, but I just love it when a page is full of lines. And this is really Paige Hender did a really good job using their line art throughout.
All the lines, but also a good use of solid blacks or blues, considering it's a blue palette. You don't like a lot of negative space, like full white or solid color space on your artwork. I like
very specific use of negative space, where like the negative space really makes it feel empty and striking, versus like leaning too heavily on negative space in order to avoid filling in space, I guess.
Yeah, using the moment to... Yeah.
And I think it's really great when they get into these color holds with the red line instead of the blue line, and it's like, it's softer, but it's also so much like eerier than it is with the blue.
Paige do everything on this?
Yes, Paige did, as far as I'm aware, Paige did the drawing and the coloring, but I can double check on that.
Looks like it.
Written and illustrated. I'm not seeing any colorists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this win a Ringo or Eisner?
I don't think it came out until this summer, so I think it came out after.
Because it didn't get an Ignatz nomination, did it?
I think it came out after award season.
Okay.
Or it came out during award season, so it would be up for next year's awards. I don't think it would be up for this year's awards.
This was something that was kind of big at SPX, though. Wasn't Paige there, or was it Silver Sprocket was there?
Silver Sprocket was there pushing this book.
Okay.
I pre-ordered it, so I got it not at SPX. So I had other things I was focusing on at SPX.
Seems like they're prepping this one, though, for an awards push for next year. I mean, I haven't read it, but just from what you've said, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really great. The art's incredible, and the story's just magnificent. And it's set in New Orleans, so it's got that cool
Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, very Interview with a Vampire. Very cool, like, I think it's in the 20s style fashion.
Okay.
Just people with lots of frills and very intricate clothing, and I like that stuff a lot. Yeah. That's
a bit of a preview of what your favorite thing of the year is.
Yeah, lots of frills, lots of intricate clothing, lots of lines.
Do you want to do the other thing?
No, I want you to go now. You put me on the spot, now you're on the spot.
Okay, cool. But you have another thing that came out in 2025, so I think you should,
I'll talk about that eventually, but I'm not.
Yeah.
No, you're going next.
So this is, I mean, none of my stuff is very surprising. It's just very me, but I love Hellboy. I love this specific issue. It's just a one-shot called The Beast of Vargu, and it's written by Mike Mignola, but it's drawn by Duncan Fegredo, probably the best artist to draw Hellboy. Love it. Dave Stewart colors. It's just this nice little self-contained story where Hellboy fights a monster, and he gets to do a little folklore adventure, and it's great. I love it. I love Duncan Fegredo's art. He's amazing. I think even Mike Mignola says he's the best to draw Hellboy, and I agree completely. I find this is like Sherlock Holmes for me, where it's like so easy to read. They're just simple adventures, one and done. Then you kind of can move on to the next one.
Yeah.
You always know what you're getting, but it's like the flavor I like, so it's just what I keep coming back to. Doesn't challenge me, but it keeps me reading, which I love.
What made you choose that one over another Hellboy issue?
Duncan Fegredo.
Duncan Fegredo.
And also, if I can just say, if you want to do, this is an issue where I feel like if you don't want to jump into full Hellboy comics, this is nice, where it's like you get a flavor you get a taste of what the book is about. It's very much this specialist specifically is very simple. But then there's this, which is a part of a larger, not Hellboy involved, but like Hellboy world involved comic. And I just grabbed this because it was at the front of a long box. I think it's second in Charles, but it had art by James Herron. And it's in this world that I love, and James Herron is just sort of one of those dudes everybody likes if you like drawing punching people and stuff like that. So it's, extremely gory stuff, but so well designed. Herron is always at the top of everybody's list of like one of the best current working artists, and you can definitely see this. This is over a decade old, but it's still one of the best things you could ever look at from a comic artist. And he blends a lot of Western and Eastern comics in his art, and it's so apparent how influenced he is by manga, and then also Jack Kirby and Mike Mignola and all those American comic artists. This is a page I've been kind of fixated on just because I love interstitial stuff, just transition things between characters. I love to see how the big action people draw, quote unquote boring stuff and make it interesting. And what I love is that he's not really, not everything has to be crazy in his books, which I really like. And he draws it well, and it's still with a lot of detail that sets a tone and a mood, which I really like. But he knows when to pull back so that it's not just nutso crazy stuff all the time. Like, I think what made me pick up this issue was like this sequence right here. Or actually, no, there's a vision of hell at one point. Let me see if I can find that. This one right here. Like, this is crazy stuff right here. This is like,
yeah,
wild, crazy gothic stuff. And I love that. But yeah, those are I'm just going to go, those are my two Hellboy honorable mentions. But
nice.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and do your next honorable mention?
Speaking of comics with both Western and Eastern influences, I got really into Ghost Pepper by Ludo Lobby. I am really hoping I pronounced his name right. He's French. I don't know how to pronounce French things. But he's a really great French artist, obviously, and he's talked a lot about how inspired he was by manga and how big manga is in France, actually, and how much it influences a lot of their work there. So he's got this really nice blend of Eastern and Western art styles in this book. And it's this really cool story about this kind of Mad Max style world where it's all... Excuse me, I have a cold. Sniffle break. It's this kind of Mad Maxy world where it's like a wasteland except for these like little pockets of civilization, and there's this kind of, I don't think he's a god king, but he's kind of like a god king. They have like a savior who kind of rules everything, who saved them from this big Titanic, like Titan-esque threat. And so they all worship him and they give him offerings, and you get the feeling that there's something not quite right about him being in power. And I don't want to go past what they cover in the first issue, because I think what really got me to keep reading was all of the questions I had coming out of the first issue, because I read the first issue and I was like, I have no idea what the fuck this story is about. And I think I told you that. And then once I started reading the second issue, like, those answers come up pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
You get the feel for it, but it really hooks you in the first issue.
I think what hooked me about it, I think you picked it out of the at Third Eye, but what hooked me about it was the main character. It works in like a futuristic food truck.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty great.
Yeah. So the main character is this girl Laloy, and she runs a food truck, and everybody's after the secret to her to her food. So there's like conflict between her and just like the local food truck people who are like hunting her down, trying to get her secret recipe. But then there's also this bigger story about this kind of imperial conflict sort
Yeah.
of vibe. And the art's incredible. And I'm not usually one for like big booby lady, big muscly man stories, but I
Yeah.
think the art with this is so good. I just couldn't pass it up. And I don't feel like it's, I don't know, it doesn't feel super sexist yet. So we'll see how long that lasts.
It feels sexy, but not sexist.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
feels like everyone is an idealized body, but then there are also side characters that have more interesting body shapes and that are a little different, but mostly it feels like everyone has an idealized body. But they're all so cool.
And I also feel like France, and I might be going out on a limb if I might be
And there are
misremembering
these
this.
sick action sequences.
Yeah. I also feel like France, well, they had a big animation studio. Like Disney had a studio in France, didn't
France
they?
has a huge like experimental animation
Okay.
scene. Like Gobelins is one of the biggest animation schools in the world, if not the like most prestigious animation school in the world. And it's out of Paris, I want to say.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of shorts from their graduating students every year, and they're just incredible. So
This
yeah,
feels very animation, like
Mhm.
heavy. Like it feels very animation inspired too. Like the art feels kinetic in a way that almost you only get from animation. Which
France
I really
has
love that.
an insane comics and animation scene.
Yeah.
Especially considering people like Mobius came out of France.
And also dabbled in animation a lot himself.
And Tintin and all of that came out
Yeah.
of France. So it's a really good country to go to look for comics and animations.
Yeah.
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 All right, you ready for your choice of the year, or do you want to talk about your other honorable mentions
I've got
first?
some other honorable mentions first.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about.
Pause for a second.
I'll do a Star Wars. Oh, we need to pause.
I'm gonna
Oh, we'll do another. Then we'll do another spike here.
sniffle check. Sorry,
I'll edit this out.
sniffle break. Thank you.
Cool. Ready? One clap. 1, 2, 3. Cool. We'll spike and we'll edit there. Yeah, my next pick is this Star Wars related. You got me the album of Jedi Survivor, which
Yeah.
is just one of my favorite video games I've ever played. One of my favorite video game soundtracks. It's the best. I think I like it more than Andor even, and I love Andor, but this game, the first two Jedi games are everything I want from Star Wars, and the soundtrack is everything I want from a Star Wars soundtrack as well. And the composers are Stephen Barton and Gordy Hobb, and they're phenomenal. They do John Williams music, but without it feeling super derivative or I don't know, cliched.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Mhm.
It serves the story and has the feeling. It walks the tightrope of Star Wars really well. And then this is just something I've been trying to build this series for a long time. These are the comics I read the most as a kid, and I don't have all the volumes, but I've just been putting them together slowly over the years as I find them. And then I was reviewing the animated series that these comics are spinning off of for my Star Wars show that I co-host with my friend Adam. It's on his channel Imperial Remnant, and we do a podcast for YouTube members over there called Review Harvest, and we reviewed the cartoon show, which made me want to reread a lot of these comics and then also get some volumes myself. So I picked this one up. I read it a lot as a kid. I just never owned it. And so I wanted to highlight the first story in here, which I really love, by Hayden Blackman, who wrote it, and the art and colors by Ben Caldwell, who's still very active in comics today. But this is just one of my favorite things. You're talking about like a lot of negative space. I love how this comic uses negative space and the darkness and then incorporates it into the action really well, and tells a really cool Jedi story. And the art is very reminiscent of Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, but without feeling stiff. Like it's still like a very strong composition, and it never feels like they're just tracing over panels or anything like a lot of movie and TV show tie-in comics do.
But they are directly referencing the approach to that, like the style of Gendy's.
Paul Rudish's character design is all over this, and Genndy Tartakovsky's direction is all over this as well. So yeah, it's awesome. I really love it. It feels like a comic while still also having that animation quality that we were talking about in Ghost Pepper. So love it. And I love this whole series. I wish more Star Wars comics were like this. And that might just be my childhood nostalgia talking, though. But yeah. Would you want to do any more honorable mentions?
Yeah. So while we're on Well, I guess we're not on music anymore, but just music-wise, I got really into listening to Lucy Dacus this year. We saw her in concert in September, I want to say.
September, yeah.
Yeah, she's a local Richmond musician. Not local anymore, but she started out in Richmond, so she's still a Richmonder. Always will be a Richmonder.
Yeah.
Her music's just incredible. It's really, like, sad, but not so sad you just end up crying after listening to it. It's, like, sad, but you can go on with your day kind of music.
It's melancholy.
Melancholy.
But
I think there are some hopeful beats to it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's about just reflecting on the sadness of your and loneliness of youth. I feel like is mostly what she sings about.
Yeah.
And I think because she's about our age, probably late 20s, so she's just working through, I feel like, growing up like all of us are. Yeah.
But she's really blown up this year. Her work is definitely worth checking out if you haven't listened to it yet. And honestly, everybody in Boy Genius, which is the supergroup she was in with Phoebe Bridgers and Julian Baker. Shout out to Julian, love of my life.
You went to go see her live this year too.
I got to see her live. She was actually the first live concert I went to on my own a couple years ago when I first moved to Richmond. So Julian has a special place in my heart, but really I think Lucy stole the show this year. I'm obsessed now, collecting all of her work at this point.
Yeah, I loved her. I mean, I liked Boy Genius and I liked what Lucy Dacus songs I listened to, but after that concert I became a big, not as big of a fan of as you, but a pretty big fan, especially of this record. I love Home Video. That album, I listened to the whole discography, which isn't very much. After the concert, this one's my favorite album. Yeah, it feels very tight. Not like no wasted space on this album.
No. And it doesn't have the title on the cover, but it's Home Video.
Home Video
by Lucy Dacus. I should have said that to start out.
And the album cover.
It's at the Bird.
It's at the Bird, our local movie theater that we go to, which I love.
We love seeing it. Love Lucy. I love Lucy.
I love Lucy
so much. And then. Otherwise,
call me Ricky. I love Lucy.
I listened to the Hollow Knight album so much this year, just listening to it while I was working. It's really good fantasy soundtrack music if you just need something without words, because I can't listen to words while I'm working because I get the words stuck in my head and then I focus more on the words than I do on whatever the hell I'm working on. So Hollow Knight was a great solution to that. I also have the piano collection, which is also incredible, but I recommend the actual soundtrack more just because the piano music gets a little one note after a while.
And I prefer the piano.
You prefer the piano?
Yeah. I do. I like the album artwork more. And I
the
like
album
the piano.
Artwork is beautiful.
I like the piano. I've never played the game. I've watched you play it, and you've played the soundtrack a lot around the house and at the library while we work on comics and things. And I like the music, but I like listening to that piano vinyl a lot.
I like the game too, but I am not a hardcore gamer, so I have never gotten good enough to actually beat it.
It looks fun,
but it's hard.
Very repetitive, like like you talked about the piano.
It's like a Souls game. It's hard, but it's good. I recommend it. It's not expensive, so if you want a game that you can play for a little bit and not worry about beating, and just try really hard at until you fail enough times to give up. Yeah,
it's also a vibe. It's
such a vibe.
It's a great vibe. Yeah. But this is my favorite of the year. These are my favorite things I picked up. Very similar to the Clone Wars adventures. I found these cute little Superman digests. I haven't really read any of these because the text is way too small and it hurts my eyes, but I love the art inside them. I did read my favorite story, which is from this ugly ass book, but I really wanted to highlight this. Like the Clone Wars comics, they do a good job. Oh, sorry.
Can we pause?
Yeah. You good?
Okay. Sorry.
Cool, let's mark that. 1, 2, 3.
So you were saying like the Clone Wars comics.
Like the Clone Wars comics, trying to match a style from an animated cartoon show, but a lot of great talent here, a lot of great comic work where it feels like it's not really about advertising for a cartoon show. It's about telling stories in that world.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's not really...
It's not selling you toys.
It's not selling you toys. It's not concerned with canon or anything like that. It's just about making the best comics in a style that you're familiar with.
Oh.
And again, like the Clone Wars ones, there's a lot of really great just comic work. I mean, look at that page right there. It's phenomenal.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, and I love it to death. It was a great... I found it at Second and Charles for like $4, and I was like, hell yeah, grab that. I think these were printed in 2013 when Man of Steel came out. So I feel like these were just like in checkout aisles and in bookstores and Target and stuff like that. But they're a cheap way of reprinting a bunch of comics. But the text is way too small, and I can't read it. But I did read this one. Violent Minds. Jeff Parker wrote it and Chris Samney drew it with Matthew Wilson on colors. Matthew Wilson and Chris Samney are like maybe two of like the biggest powerhouses in comics. Have been for over a decade now. And again, Samney's another one of those like favorites everybody likes to point out if you like drawing big dudes punching other big dudes.
Hell yeah.
So, but Chris Samney's one of the best. I love this short little Superman story that he drew. It's quick, it's simple, it's to the point. It's also like, I don't know, maybe 16 pages. It's so short, but it's so succinct and wonderful. And look at that right there. Like that's just some good stuff.
Yeah, those colors are incredible too.
That's Matt Wilson. He's one of the best.
Damn.
I don't even know if it's 16 pages. Maybe it's 8 pages. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 8 pages.
Damn.
I love it. And look at that final page. I mean, it's always Lex Luthor behind everything, but look at that. It's simple. It's very cool. It's just a nice, quick story with great action, great heart, everything you want from a Superman comic, just in 8 pages. So that's my favorite thing that I read this year. Looked at it endlessly while I was drawing comics, and it's
Hell yeah.
It's aspirational.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, show us your pick.
Aspirational top pick of the year is Witch Hat Atelier by Kamomi Shirahama. Did not come out this year. I forget when it started coming out, but the anime was supposed to come out this year, which finally got me to start reading it because I was like, well, I want to read the manga before I watch the anime because I know the art in the manga is really, really good, and I'm worried they'll butcher it in the anime. But they actually ended up delaying the anime to the beginning of 2026.
Oh, that'll be soon.
Very soon, but they did it in order to meet the standards of the manga, which I think is hopefully a good sign. I'm a little worried still about the quality of the anime, but the art in the manga is incredible, so no matter how the anime goes, at least I'll have the manga. So Shirahama's work is really, really intricate line art, just gorgeous kind of woodcut style work. But it never feels stiff, in my opinion. I think she really captures like the flowiness of the world and of the characters, and everything feels very lively and very well put together. It's a really great story about this little girl who lives in a world of witches where like witches have always been said to be born as witches, basically, instead of like it being something you can learn. And she's always wanted to be a witch, but because she wasn't born as a witch, she doesn't think she'll have that opportunity until she stumbles upon how magic is actually cast, and has to be taken into an atelier by this guy Kiefer, this blonde guy right here, or she has to lose her memory. So Kiefer takes her under her wing to teach her how to be a witch, and it's this really cool fantasy adventure story. It's really, I think, darker than you would think with a story about a little kid. I mean, it's not like... It's not so dark you can't get through it, and like I think it is appropriate for a child to read.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of dark themes. There's a lot of body horror imagery, especially as you get further into the series, and there's a lot of like corruption of power, conversations about gatekeeping, who gets to have power, and it's never like one note. Like there's a lot of nuance in it. Like maybe gatekeeping is good because it keeps people who would be irresponsible with their power from having that power, but also if it prevents people who need access to it from getting like the help that they need, is that good? So there's a lot of like conversation about the trade-off of power and keeping it in the hands of people who would be theoretically responsible. This is my favorite character. Her name is Agate. She's a little bitch. Mostly because her family sucks, and she will eventually grow out of it, I hope, fingers crossed. But I like edgy little know-it-alls, and she's an edgy little know-it-all, and that's my favorite kind of character.
You're caught up on the series.
I am. There are 14 issues out right now. I think there's supposed to be another one coming out. I don't know if the manga is on hiatus at the moment while the anime is under production.
Love that.
Yeah.
Right page and the left page. Both are amazing.
And I wanted to pull this out, number one, because Shirahama's compositions are incredible, but there are also a lot of cool fantasy environments where like these are a bunch of like globe island things that the character has to navigate to pass a test. And then I think I pulled another one here. There's like this tree growing in this guy's house. Just a lot of really great environments and places to explore, and it's like an adventure story too. They go all over the place. There's a lot going on, and I really like it. It's just brought me so much joy this year. And with that, I wanted to share the art book that came out this year. I didn't pull out specific pages from this to reference, but you got me this for Christmas. I think it just came out a couple months ago, maybe.
It just came out this month.
It just came out in December. Yeah.
So it's brand new.
It's really just full page art from the book. Gorgeous stuff. The colors are amazing.
This is all the same artist.
The line work is amazing. I think so. There might be some that are by different artists. I know she has assistants, so I don't know what she does versus what her assistants do, but I think some of the let me see. There's one piece that I'm pretty sure is not her. But I think most of this like ink work stuff is Shirahama.
Okay. Yeah. So for like mangaka assistants, do they ink and everything too, or is it just like for backgrounds and tones and things?
Depends on the mangaka. So some of them will have assistants who just do backgrounds and screen tones. Some will have assistants who ink characters. I think it depends on their relationship with their assistants and how much work the mangaka is doing.
Staff
yeah. Okay. That is a brush buddy. So one of the things is that this has everything you could want in like a fantasy series. There's a big adventure, there's crazy magic, and then there's also a perfect little mascot character. He's a brush buddy. He eats ink. He's so cute. He's incredible.
So all the magic is around pencils and ink?
All the magic is around drawing circles.
That's amazing.
So it's like to create a spell. Yeah, here you go.
Oh,
To
cool.
create a spell, you draw a circle. So
the wand is a pen or a pencil or something like that?
Exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
And
magical.
closing the circle is what casts the spell. So there's a lot of like metaphor for being an artist in here. But I think it doesn't just stop at being an artist. It goes on to like technology and stuff as well. Like how you create responsible technology. There's a whole section where they're like, we want to make this thing that like has a perpetual flame, but then one of the teachers is like, well, if people get so used to or not a perpetual flame, but a flame that won't burn you, and the teacher is like, well, that's a great idea, but if people grow up with this flame that doesn't burn them, and then they encounter a flame in real life that will burn them, but they have no experience with that, they will get burned because they won't have a point of reference for fire being harmful.
Yeah.
So there's a lot about like understanding the repercussions of making things easier for people, and how that could play out potentially harmfully in the future, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
Okay.
But then it doesn't stop there, and it's never like, don't make things easier for people, don't create accessibility. There's a lot of how do you use magic to create a more accessible world for people who don't have access to magic, or who have like physical disabilities like colorblindness, or even who aren't able to walk and things like that.
Okay.
So it's a really, really cool story about the implication of magic, and that's kind of a metaphor for technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I love the sound of that. Do you want to show off your
My
Witch Hat Atelier figure also?
Yeah, so I also, because of this, got into collecting anime figures this year. I
collected one.
I collected two.
Oh, okay.
I collected several.
Oh, it's true. You got the blind box stuff.
I got the blind box stuff. I have some
Yeah.
Funko Pops. Look, man, I am embracing being a weeb.
You are a weeb, but I don't know if I'd. You have a very tight, perfect little collection of figures.
I'm not trying to go overboard.
No.
I'll go overboard with books, but I won't go overboard with figures because I really.
That one's
This
one
one's
you can't pass
beautiful. It's perfect.
Was this on Crunchyroll's site?
Oh yeah, this was on Crunchyroll.
Oh, I didn't notice that there's the little guy.
Yeah, it's a little brush buddy.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just a cute little figure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a 1/7 scale figure.
Look at that pose. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's
They
gorgeous.
cared.
They cared so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And then I have the illustration for this in the art book.
Oh.
So it's like
The design for it?
uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me pull that up.
Is that the only Witch Hat figure that's available?
I think there are other ones. I just didn't. I don't have a lot of shelf space for figures, and I want to be able to look at them. So I really didn't want to go overboard with getting too many figures all at once.
Smart.
Trying to find. I'm pretty sure it's in here. I know for a fact it's in here. It's just, can I find it in here? In a reasonable
I'm enjoying
amount of
looking
time.
through. I know the camera's not picking it up
Okay,
right now, but
yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
I'll put it where the camera can see.
Oh, that's
while
cool.
I flip through and look. Okay, this will tell me what page it's on if I can find it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I like that there's a nice index. There it is. It's on page 37. There's an
Neat.
index of all of the art in it.
And then you can just look at the text underneath those. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can flip through once, enjoy all the art, and then look at the artists. That's nice.
Yeah. There we go.
There she is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main character, Coco, and her little brush buddy, and she's working on her spells. Yeah.
This is a page right here.
Yeah, this is one of the opening pages from the first.
Is there a color edition of it available, or is it just in black and white and it's in color for this book?
No, the first couple of pages are in color.
Oh, okay.
So these.
Oh, perfect.
This first section is painted, but then the rest of it is in black and white.
Love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Great pick for number one for the year.
Highlight of my year. I read the whole series. I'm excited for the anime to come out.
Me too.
Yeah.
I need to read the series before the anime comes out.
It's really great.
Or I'll just need to read the series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll put up our faves really quick as we close out. So put out Witch Hat and Superman.
Superman.
Thank you for listening, and for if you are watching, recommend you check out our other reviews. We have some cool ones on Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees and Klaus.
Oh yeah.
And we'll have more reviews coming out regularly throughout 2026. So be sure to subscribe. Also, feel free to check out our work. I'm on Instagram at Noah Cray. And are you?
I'm on Instagram at Highly Caffeinated. It's like caffeinated, but Kathy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to have some work out this year, hopefully, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people should check your stuff out.
Yeah.
Watch for updates on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend go check out our podcast that me and my friend Matt co-host. We have some great interviews on there, and we've got some great ones lined up for January. So we'll be coming back to you with some cool people that we interview. But you can follow us on all social media at Constructing Comics Podcast or at Constructing Comics Pod. And I recommend you give us a like and a follow there just so you can see when those interviews go up. And in the meantime, everybody be safe, be nice to each other, and go out there and make some comics. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.